real next piece of action.
Right.
You get live sports back. I can't watch. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit up there and watch Warriors. Cavaliers Game 7. It seems like that shit is on every night. You know what I'm saying? So, a game where I don't know what we want to play.
Yeah. They're like replaying all these other classic games. I've been watching, actually. I mean, obviously, when I get bored, I just watch. The Yankees classic games or NBA classic games. They're re-showing all these classics, but
it's only one game that I can watch over and over again. It's a 2001 Fiesta Bowl with Miami and Ohio State. I think that's the best football game. I think it's the best sporting event probably ever played. I can watch that over and over again. I can also watch game 1 of I believe it was the 2017 finals.
Yeah.
Classic game 1, the J.R. Smith game. I can watch that game over and over too. Other than yeah.
Before we go any further, I just want to give a shout out to my other interview that I had earlier today before you. Her name is Tara Torrisi. She's joining this live right now. I interviewed her. This woman is an inspiring soccer coach, trainer. She overcame a lot of stuff with her injuries, and I just want to give a shout out to her. Thank you for tuning in this. I interviewed her before you, so I just want to give a quick shout out to her. So, yeah, because she's an inspiring story with her background. So, but so back to the NBA. Zach LaVine, man. What do you think of Zach LaVine as a player, though? As a player in the league,
he's a solid player. You know what I'm saying? Solid player in a bad situation in Chicago. So listen, you don't really know what he's going to be, but he's a good young player. I don't have no problem with his game. He can get a lot done. But he's in a bad situation right now in Chicago. So you don't want to see him spend his whole career being a good player on a bad team.
Yeah. So let's get to the Nets and Knicks here. Obviously the Nets are heading to the right direction, and I'm a Knicks fan like you. You're a Knicks fan too, right? So.
Yeah. Whatever.
But
I don't have a basketball team.
I mean, the Nets know how to run organization, but the Knicks, I don't. I feel like the Knicks
know how to run organization. We're going to see if they know how to run organization.
Who?
We're going to see the Nets. I'm not going to go ahead and say right now the Nets know how to run an organization. They got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on that team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that may not be the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you definitely see that those two cats bring a different vibe to it. What's the son name that already quit? I can't think of nobody name since we've been in quarantine. Everybody names skip my mind.
For the Nets?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, Kenny Atkinson. Yeah.
He seemed like he was squared away and he ran good organization, but he decided that he didn't want no parts of it. It might have been a mistake bringing them in, but right now they do look like the premier basketball organization in this city.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity. I had Christian Winfield on the other day. He's a Brooklyn Nets reporter and a senior NBA writer, and he said that he doesn't know who the coach would be. But I brought up an outside of the box candidate when I was talking to him, and I told him that Craig Popovich could be an option for Brooklyn.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because he can hold players accountable like superstars like KD and Kyrie. I think he can hold them accountable.
I mean, but I would think that San Antonio would be a job that he would retire from. So I don't know if I could see him in Brooklyn. Yeah, what up, everybody? Goon Squad checking in.
Goon Squad.
I don't know if he'd be available. I think that looks like that could be a situation. We don't know how this. First of all, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen. We don't know how this is going to play out because Brett Brown could be available at 76. You know what I mean? So Mark Jackson is still out there and guys like that. It's still a lot left to be settled. You know what I'm saying? You
know why I keep saying Greg Popovich? Because I feel like Becky Hammond deserves a chance to be the women's head coach in the NBA. I really do, because Becky Hammond works hard. So I think she deserves a chance to be a head coach in the NBA. What do you think?
No, that's cool. But Mark Jackson deserves another shot too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
I mean, and I get what you're saying, and I think Becky Hammond will get her chance when the time is right. You know what I mean? So I that's the way I look at that. But I think Pop retires, and then maybe Becky Hammond gets that job. But I don't know if he's ready to do that yet. I don't see him leaving San Antonio to take on another opportunity.
So do you think Mark Jackson will hold? I mean, if Mark Jackson goes to Brooklyn or whoever does, do you think they can hold Keating and Kyrie accountable for full season?
Those two cats are going to do what they want. That's not going to be no ability. More than likely, they're going to pick who they want to be the head coach for them.
Right.
Then they're going to bring dude in there, and they're going to pull strings and have them run it that way. I don't see no accountability. And Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are champions. You cannot go to hold them.
Yeah. So, and then for the Knicks, I mean, I don't know where to start, but
it's a shit show. That's where you start at.
But I was thinking the next head coach needs to be a young, developing coach that can help develop players. So I brought up Kenny Atkinson as a possible candidate for the Knicks because he can fit. He fits that mold because he knows how to develop young players. So do you think Kenny Atkinson will get that job? Possibly?
Yeah, I think Kenny Atkinson will be a dude that they definitely talk to. I think he's an interesting guy. And listen, but you never know with James Dolan. You know what I'm saying? He might hire Wilkins or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? You never know what James Dolan is able to do.
Yeah.
Any like-minded organization, if he gets out the way and let Leon Rose handle it, I think you see a good opportunity to get somebody in there. But I don't see a situation where that Dolan completely getting out the way. I am very, very pessimistic when it comes to the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Remain that way until they show me something different.
Yeah.
Barrett.
What happened? Oh, yeah.
Barrett, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, as a Knicks fan, it's just horrible to see how. Obviously, the two players you can easily build around is Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett, and that's my opinion. The rest of the players are just spare parts because Kevin Knox. I really thought Kevin Knox would come along, but he's a bust. I feel like. And but what do you think of Mitchell Robinson? And do you think we can build around Mitchell Robinson?
He's going to be a good young player. Hopefully, they can him and develop him. I think he has a chance. You know what I'm saying, to be like a defensive player of the year type guy, rim runner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If he a very exciting player, hopefully they can put him in the right spots. He is a very good young ball player, Mitchell Robinson. I'll give him that. I think Kevin Knox, listen, a little bit of bumps and bruises. The team he plays for sucks. So you can't really judge these guys when they're on the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I have a couple of questions about your career. So if you don't mind telling the viewers, when did you start? When did you get interested in the sports business, sports industry, and where did you and how it evolved over the years?
So basically, I always was interested in it, but didn't really take the opportunity serious until a little bit later on. Mm-hmm. And I really, started to get into radio. Like, I'm a dude that grew up listening to WFAN, Imus in the morning, obviously. You know what I mean? Craig Carton, guys like that. In that morning slot there, my man Mike Breen, one of the best in the business, one of the best to ever do it. So all of them, basically. So that's kind of where it developed at. And then after that, it just kind of takes shape later on in life. And, we started at Sirius XM. We was doing some work with Sway in the morning. And obviously, the most important thing was the being the producer of the Roto Experts in the morning, which was probably the best radio show that nobody, really knew about when it was on Sirius. And we used to do wild numbers. I'm sure we did. That was myself, Scott Engel, and Adam Ronis. And people will tell you that were listening to that. It was absolutely amazing. And we went in there and did it every day. And we did it very well until they got in the way. And once they got in the way, you know what I mean? The shit went left. And then we had to figure out a way to rebound, and we did that, and we bounced over to FNTSY, and we had a good run over there until they got in the way. Yeah.
I really missed that fantasy football show you guys have for Fantasy Football Frenzy with Chris Ventura. Man, that show was the best. I used to talk to you guys every day on that show, bringing the fantasy questions up and about the football. But, yeah, so...
Now, the Frenzy was a lot of fun. Definitely shout out to Chris. And don't forget Matt Medica and Jim Day and all the All-In kids.
Yeah, Jim Day also, yeah.
And everybody that we did that program with, we had a very good time doing that. That's where the Goon Squad formed at, and that's where it took shape. So never, disappointed, never really got a chance to, physically say goodbye to the audience after that stuff happened last February. But definitely the Goon Squad, we will click up again soon.
Yeah. Who is your role model growing up?
When you say role model in kind of like what way? I never really had like a role model, but meaning
who helped you out throughout your career to get into the sports business?
You had a couple of guys that helped me out. Definitely, I would say that the biggest person that's had my back has been my man Nando DeFino. You know what I mean? Does that work over there at the Athletic. Nando has definitely been a dude that has held me down. You know what I'm saying? My guys Scott Atkins and stuff like that, and Ian Ritchie, the crew over there from Full Time Fantasy, always been able to work with them well and get put in good positions where we can get stuff done. You know what I mean? So definitely, those are some of the guys that helped me out. Obviously, Scott Engel, Adam Ronis. You know what I mean? Those guys also. But we did, a couple of the cats from FNTSY, not many of them, but we definitely, looked at some of those people that helped open up doors. But as far as looking up to somebody, I always was like, one of a humongous Craig Carton fan. So that was really cool. You know what I'm saying? To experience that.
Yeah, and I'm also forgetting. I'm also missing Michelle Serpico. I forgot her. Shout out to Michelle Serpico. She's done a fantastic job with you guys too.
Yeah, so she's down there in South Jersey chilling.
Yeah.
No, she had the baby yet or not? Nah, let me stop.
Oh, so I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. Favorite hip hop artist from back in the day and now?
It's Notorious B.I.G. from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. The Notorious Frank Wright, the King of New York. Right now, out of the youngins that's out right now, I fuck with son, Lil Baby. You know what I mean? I think he's doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? He's put out some hot jams the past couple years, and he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders for the most part. So I fuck with Lil Baby.
How about current? That was your current. Oh, okay, yeah. So favorite thing to do outside of sports?
Bet on sports. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Try to have some good times. That's it.
Oh, there we go. What's up, Barry Worth? This is a guy who I told you about earlier. He just joined. He's a tight end, the free agent tight end who's trying to get the opportunity.
That's what's up. You know what I mean? The best wishes.
Yeah, Tory Lanez. Someone said Tory Lanez. Yeah, Tara said Tory Lanez. Yeah, he's good. Tory Lanez is good too. Tory Lanez is one of my favorites. Favorite sports movie?
It's funny that you mentioned this. We just did a segment on this the other day over on Sports Illustrated. I would have to say, remember the Titans. It was Denzel Washington did an excellent job in that film, and that was I remember watching that movie for the first time. It was very good, and I've watched it a number of times since then. So I would go remember the Titans.
Favorite? Thoughts on this? Actually, I can't wait for this on Sunday. I think it is the Michael Jordan documentary. Thoughts on that coming out?
It's like I kind of am. It's an awkward feeling for me because I despise Michael Jordan. You know why? You know what I mean? I'm a Knicks fan, and those were some painful memories.
I know. They saw videos of it.
To be honest with you, I'm just like I had a lot of bad memories behind that Chicago Bull team. But I think it will be interesting to sit down and watch it. You know what I mean? Especially now when so little is going on and as far as live sports and programming and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the behind the scenes of it and how that thing came together. But I am not a fan of the 90s Chicago Bulls.
What advice would you give to these young sports broadcasters that's trying to get into the business? Do
exactly what you're doing right now.
Podcast, right? Sure.
Do exactly what you're doing right now. The market has changed. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different. It's been trending in this direction for a while now. And then with this going down, I mean, the playing field is equal. You know what I mean? So you can really get out there and do your thing. So no doubt about it, I would be doing this right here.
Yeah. All the guests I've been having on, I'm trying to get everybody's perspective on Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Because he was one of my role models growing up, watching him play with the Lakers. So I just want to get your take on him as what he meant to you, what Mamba mentality meant to you, and what he meant as a person, family, and a player.
Nah, Kobe was dope. You know what I'm saying? I remember him from the time he was 17 years old in Lower Marion High School. You know what I mean? I've seen Kobe Bryant when he was a high schooler, and seen him as an NBA as a professional, and then you just see the development of his career. Definitely a guy on the basketball court that will put his foot on your throat and just try to get that assassination, that kill shot. But then you've seen what he was developed into off the court with coaching his daughter and stuff like that. So, that was something that was very devastating for us to have to go through. You know what I mean? And then we have to roll right into this. So 2020 has been a